Fatality.
Hey, this is UFO Buster Radio, Manny Moonraker, your hostess with the mostest. Actually, the only host on this podcast, by the way. It's been a long-ass day. Yeah, you remember those memes how they talk about people having long asses? This is one of those. It's been such a long day. This morning, I got up, I was not hungover. I actually don't, you hear me talking about drinking on the podcast, but I don't really drink to the point where I'm hungover or drunk. I just drink enough to get a nice little buzz going, but that's it. Nothing more than that, because, I got to work the next day. Come on. So do you. Stop fucking around. But, I was so excited. I was like, okay, Thursday night freak out. We're going to do it big. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Then work happened. And then once I got off of work, I was like dragging ass, man. I just went to bed. Like literally, like a prima donna. I felt like I couldn't even pick myself up by my big girl panties at all. I couldn't. I just left them on the floor right where I stood. That is the day that I had, and I just was drained. What a rough-ass fucking day. And the worst thing is, you got to stay at home. It's like you can't go out and get rid of some of this angst or anxiety or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Something just beat me down like crazy. And I had to deal with it. I did. This is episode 360, UFO Buster Radio News. And we're here to talk about some of the stuff. Some more news. Listen, we had some good articles yesterday. We've got some good articles today. One that I missed entirely. When I tell you, I vaguely remember somebody in the Discord chat, the group fan chat. I remember them mentioning it, but it kind of like, I don't know. I was in the middle of the coronavirus fear. And actually, this happened back in March. So it was in the middle of Shittergate. Like I was probably somewhere by candlelight planning how the fuck I'm going to get toilet paper. That's probably, it was... Yeah, I think I can guarantee it was almost in the midst of Shittergate. We were like sitting there with maps, planning out which store we're going to raid, what time we're going to get there, how long we're going to stand online, who do we have to, kick in the nuts, who are we going to, punch in the head. Like all the old people, you guys would have been fucked if we wasn't online because we were not going to play with you. No, we would kick the... damn cane off for you or give you a flat on your wheelchair. We don't give a damn. It was Shittergate. We got problems. And we had to resolve them quickly. I mean, because, hey, we didn't want to wear no damn diapers. Come on. Nobody wants to do that. We don't give a damn what they did in Wuhan. They probably did. They probably wore diapers and all kind of shit over there. Who knows? I would be firmly against that, by the way. And if you guys actually decided that you got to the point where you had to wear diapers, please let me know. Send me a picture of it. I don't even know why. But just for fuck's sake, it would be fun just to see how many people went that far. Like I seen a picture of a lady who ordered, she thought she was slick. Let's just put it that way. It's Shittergate, lady. It's Shittergate. Not just Shittergate in your shitty little town. It's Shittergate everywhere. Everywhere. Like if you're sitting in California or you're sitting in the Midwest somewhere or down in Miami or you're freezing your ass off in Chicago, it's Shittergate. Yeah, it didn't even matter. You could be in fucking Wuhan. It was probably Shittergate there too. But we know it was Shittergate in Australia. And Shittergate just kept going and rolling. So what makes you think that you're going to be able to order from the internet great toilet paper? I mean, what made you the slickest person on the planet? What the hell? The funny thing is that she recorded a video when she got the package. In the video, there were, I think maybe it was like a dozen rolls of toilet paper, but they were all already used. There was only less than half of the toilet paper on each one. And she was mad about that. Are you serious? Take like 4 of those shits, make one big roll of toilet paper, and you should be fucking happy. You've got toilet paper no matter what. There she was, just whining away, mad. Oh, call customer service, why don't you? Find out what they're going to tell you. It's Shittergate, ma'am. That's what you get. Yeah, try to be slick. By the way, if you enjoyed the podcast, be sure to share it, like it, subscribe, tell your mama, tell your dad, tell your, I don't know, well, your uncle that's kind of funny because he doesn't take his meds. Call up your cousin who's in jail for the last 10 years. They get podcasts in there too. I'm pretty sure about it. I don't give a fuck where my listeners come from. Please, please share the podcast. Come on. In the live chat, we got the blue chicken. He is somewhat godlike. And then we have the ever-talented green man in there as well. Some of the regulars on the live chat. If you decide to follow, subscribe, or you feel interested, you want to listen to one more episode, if you go to Spreaker.com and sign up or download the app, you'll get notifications whenever I get on here and start talking to shit. 'Cause that's what I do. And I do it very well. I do it so well these days that it's bleeding over into my personal life. I'm talking shit everywhere now. Some people don't understand it because they don't know where it's coming from because they don't know that I do a podcast. It's really funny how many people don't know that I do this. It's really, really hilarious. I'm just waiting for the one day when I come across someone that's either wearing a UFO Buster Radio t-shirt or a UFO Buster Radio sticker on their forehead. I don't know, whatever the fuck it is. And then I'm going to be standing there looking at them and then I'll be like, yeah, it's a great podcast. That's what I'm going to tell them. That host, he's amazing. See if they hear it in the voice. They probably won't. 3 news articles for today. Let's get jiggy with it. Let's play a quick track and then we'll get started.
Forever one.
This first article comes out of the world of Elon Musk and SpaceX. Because, at least he really stays in the news, right? I just looked this one up and I turned the page and bam, another article about Elon Musk. The other article was him going back and forth with Fox News about him not coming through with the face mask. Those special ones for the coronavirus situation, the COVID-19. I don't understand. Well, first of all, don't charge Elon up. He's got a lot of shit on his mind. But really, did they not see his freaking presentation about the Starship? Do you really think he's going to give you a coherent answer about what the fuck he's doing with the masks? No. Anyway, there's a video out there where he's responding, or people are, the folks at Fox News are talking shit about him. But you know what? Who cares? Who cares? You can't expect Elon to save the world. At least not yet. He might be somewhat of a superhero when it comes to space, but he hasn't arrived yet. He hasn't. The title for this article is SpaceX releases new Starship User guide with payload and passenger info. I have a problem talking about this article, especially when I refer to it as the phallus rocket. And now there's an article that's going to guide you to its load. I feel like it would be detrimental to myself and the podcast if I decided to talk about this article, because how am I going to word it? It's like it opened the door to so many things, so many avenues. But let's just go ahead and get started, because it makes no fucking sense to me that he even released this right now. The article starts by saying, hey, when you get yourself a new gadget, fancy, shiny thing, what do? Well, shit, you got to look at the user's guide. The thing is that this rocket is supposed to be used by commercial enterprise to put their big loads in space. Yeah, I did say it just now. That's what it's for. Carrying the big loads. I just didn't know how this was going to go down, but here I go. So, SpaceX and Elon put out a 5-page guide. And listen to me. The fact that this thing is 5 pages should really tell you where we at when it comes to this SpaceX Starship thing. This should tell you where we're really at, because there's no way that you're going to release a user guide for your phallus rocket and it only be 5 pages. Who's going to look at that? This is like a primer. This is for the people that might be losing faith in this program. It's a preview. It's like a trailer. You hope that the trailer sells the business and you pack the people in. This is what this is. Some of you might have those hopes and dreams about maybe getting your load up into space too, through the phallus, the shiny one. And I did you a service, basically. You got a lot of shit in your garage, you don't know what to do with it, send it to Elon. He can put it on his phallus, send it into space. Astronauts get bored up there. I mean, come on, they could use your junk. The 5-page user guide really talks about what they see in the future, and this article calls it lofty plans. Yeah, they're really lofty. And the reason why is because Starship, which can't seem to even get to the damn launch pad, is still under research and development. But I mean, who cares? I mean, listen, he's probably going to go broke as hell trying to get this shit to work. I don't know. Right now, there isn't a single... I would not look at this. Like, if I had a load to throw into space, no, I would not be looking at the Starlink at all. Not one bit. This shit, it can't even get past testing. So, no. SpaceX says this is an initial release of the Starship User Guide, and it will be updated frequently. Really? It seems like you need a lot of updating coming up. There's going to be a lot of publishing of this freaking guide. And it says, yeah, it'll be updated frequently and in response to customer feedback. You ain't got no fucking customers. Are you serious? I just don't get it. I don't. The new user guide even outlines a scenario where the company could place several loads into the cargo hold. This is what I mean. It's almost like they knew I was calling it the phallus. It played out that way. This is what the article says. So you take your loads, several of them, and drop it in the cargo hold, and at once, and then drop each in a separate location with a fairing door that opens and closes, like your pants. I figured some of you might want to look at this, kind of check out the whole dropping of the loads, if you will, into wherever it is, your cargo hold. And you wanted to see what is it that Elon has to offer through Starship, the metallic phallus. There is a link right under this article at the end of it where I included the path so that you can take a look at this 5-page guide. You might have a load that you need to send into the wild blue yonder. There could be a load for you to move to ISS. I could imagine also the Igor Escher belly might have a lot of loads to drop in space. You know, getting ready to get Asgardia up and going. As a matter of fact, I should do an episode Sunday where we go back to Asgardia and see how Igor is doing with his spacefaring nation. I'm sure Elon would love to drop a load on them. Guaranteed. The article is in the description. Check it out. I actually looked at the guide right before I started the podcast. It's pretty fascinating. The actual image for this episode is one of the images that's inside of the guide, which shows you the, front and back of the phallus, in case you haven't seen one yet. There it is. The next article takes us to one of our favorite folks in ufology. And we really love to hear stories about them because they're so entertaining in many ways. And a lot of times they're frustrating. A lot of times they make us sick. A lot of times they make us want to reach out and touch someone. Yeah. Alien shock claim. UFO hunter says he has spotted God-like beings near the sun. This guy has nothing better to do, and I'm sure, thanks to the COVID-19 situation, it's even worse now. Like, he's probably catching up in his research. He's probably right now sitting at about 2005 at looking at all of NASA's data. So he's got about 15 more years to go. The article drives me insane because it starts off that a prominent conspiracy theorist, there's only one rubberdicker who gets that title from time to time in these articles, and that is Scott C. Waring, the one we call Pareidolia Pete. Because he's always making these extraordinary claims regarding things that no one really should give two fucks about, but apparently they do. Apparently people just eat this shit up constantly. It is the weirdest thing ever. So now, Pareidolia Pete discovered intelligent beings that were floating in space around the sun. Imagine that. Where else would be where we find godlike creatures? Well, around the sun, of course. Mr. Pareidolia Pete, he spotted the objects which he believed there were up to at least 1.5 kilometers. Go ahead. Where is Dre right now? Yeah, because he loves these kilometers. He loves the metric system. And they appear to be in a gray UFO-like sphere. And they're just there, chilling. Now, usually this is a change, because usually he says that these UFOs are siphoning power from the sun. And he's got a bunch of pictures. And there was one time he was saying there was an armada of these ships flying by the sun. The guy probably sits in the Midwest somewhere, inside of a shithole, but yet he's spotting aliens by the sun, and Mars, and the moon, and everywhere, except where the fuck he lives at. He says that he analyzed the movement, and because of his expert analysis, he believes that these are intelligent entities, and they may be intelligent entities made out of energy. Either way, they are godlike. He tries to ensure that everybody knows. He's not saying that they're God, not the creator, the one that made him from spare parts, but that it was a godlike being. He says that they travel at the speed of light. That's Bugs in the background. Guess he's had it with the podcast. And they appear to be feeding off the sun's energy. And like I said, this is his thing. This is his thing right here. According to him, there is a ton of aliens hanging around our little yellow sun, siphoning it, just loading up their ships, just sitting there, waiting to attack something. Or like we're like a convenience stop for them. They come over here and they gas up and they continue. Oh, God, Bugs. He said in his blog, ET Database, the object is huge. Huge. Looks like it's planet size, but I believe it to be 1.5 kilometers across and very close to the satellites. Yeah. He says that it moves and jumps into place often or around the speed of light, sometimes leaving trails seen on camera. Like he literally has been watching this. No, not really. He's getting images from the satellites that NASA has around the sun. And again, old news. He's looking at old things. I mean, Bugs right now is like my background music. That's what he's doing right now. He's filling in. He also said in his database that he believes these travel through energy and that is what allows them to travel the speed of light. But he says that that also explains why they appear to be godlike. This is what we deal with, and I just want to add something to this. There is someone who is apparently writing a lot recently about pareidolia Pete. Now, I don't know what it is. I don't know what attracts this person to pareidolia Pete, but let me just, let's talk about who this is. His name is Sean Martin. Sean Martin is a science reporter. Right, Bugs, I agree. Where's the science in this? Why is a science reporter giving us news from someone with the beady little perv eyes regarding aliens and godlike beings? That is not science reporting. That's nothing. That's far from it, Sean. What is going on with you? So here's a little background on Sean, by the way, in case you wanted to know. Sean is a science reporter for the Express UK. He started his journalism career in New Zealand. He lived there for a year, and then he moved back to London. He returned back to London as a business journalist before transforming to science about 5 years ago. Well, I guess he changed over now, right? He transferred from science into bullshit. So he is our bullshit reporter, Sean Martin from the UK, the Express UK to be exact. In this article, I included his email. I feel like I need to reach out to Sean to really find out what is his intentions in mind screwing us with all this stuff. It makes no sense to me. But the email is public. It is included in the article in case anyone else feels like they need to contact Sean about what is his deal with pareidolia Pete. I mean, if he loves him that much, come on, get a hotel room. Just take the Vaseline with you. But stop screwing us over with these jacked up stories by pareidolia Pete and all these other guys who do it just to clickbait. That's all it is. It's a big clickbait. If you want, as a matter of fact, I'm actually I think I'll write the email and publish it on the Facebook group and maybe even share it with the Discord chat. I'm serious. We need to write this guy and find out what the hell is going on. What is the deal? That's right. Pucky says, hey, Motel 6, he'll leave the light on for you. Probably you want to have the light off when you go in there. You might see other things that you don't want to recognize. Yeah, so there you go. Check that out. Write Sean. Find out what his deal is. And we're headed to our last article. Should be interesting.
standing by your side, with my heart on hyperdrive. I'll do what it takes to make you believe. I'm standing by your side, with my heart on hyperdrive. We do what we want, but we're not free. With our hearts on hyperdrive.
You know, I haven't heard back from Praveen. Praveen, if you're listening, come on. Come on. You know you want to. I know you do. I know you want to come on UFO Buster Radio and educate us on the UFO scene in India. I mean, with so many people, how can you go wrong? Come on. We need to know what's going down in India, all the UFO news. We need the insight because it's a worldwide phenomena. And so, you know, no disrespect to Australia or the US or South America or Canada, which actually I think this next story is about the Canadians. But I want to hear about, you know, like Germany and India and stuff like that. Like we even hear UK stories too. You know, come on, let's get something new. South Africa, chime in. I know y'all get abducted all the damn time. By the way, that's a segue into this article. I totally missed this completely, and that is Abduction Day. Yeah, the Canadians to the north. March 20th is Abduction Day. UFO fans recognize abduction claims on Extraterrestrial Abduction Day in Winnipeg. And actually, there is a ufologist in Winnipeg that kind of talked about this to a particular station. Extraterrestrial Abduction Day is an annual thing, and they really it started like a UFO situation, right? People got together, they called it Abduction Day, but then it caught on, right? It got going. People started enjoying it. And all thanks to this year, at the center of all this was a self-proclaimed ufologist and weirdologist, Chris Rutkowski. And in his interview with 680 C-Job, he says this: we do get those reports from time to time that people have said they've been contacted directly by aliens, and some feel that they have been selected by creatures beyond this earth to give us a message, or the aliens want to help humankind. And I have to say, if they really want to do that, this would be the time to give us a hand. Of course, when this started, we were at the onset of Shittergate at the time. The Canadians was feeling it a little too. So needless to say, this event still happened. But the fact is that people are getting together to celebrate this. I had to look. Was there anywhere else where we were celebrating Alien and Abduction Day? Or is it just the Canadians who are ahead of the game here? Turns out I couldn't find any other Alien Abduction Day. So then that tells me, what the fuck is going on in Canada? Is everyone getting abducted and probed in Canada? What's going on? Somebody tell me. Somebody hit me up. I know I got a bunch of Canadian listeners. Come on. Let me know. With or without the grease. Rutkowski goes on to say that it's an interesting phenomena. Maybe it's something as simple as misidentification of something else in their lives. but it's very profound experience, and the numbers of people having such experiences are very significant. And I agree with that. It's like I even said it yesterday. There can't be that anyone can plainly and with large cojones, there's no way that they're going to come on and say that everyone that has an abduction experience is sucking on some silly juice. They are not lining up all the same wacky ass weed with all kind of crazy shit and then feeling like they're being abducted. There's a lot of people that report this that are everyday folks. Attorneys, lawyers, social workers. They try their best to do a regular good job, be normal, but stuff is not right. And some people experience this stuff as children, as teens, as middle-aged people. I've never really heard of too many people experience it when they're old. That's probably when the aliens just give up. It's not even exciting for them anymore. I don't know. All I'm saying is that it's a real thing. It's something that's happening. And many people just try to brush it under the rug like, yeah, great. Yeah, night terrors. Yeah, no, that was one too much of a glass of wine you had, and it looked like a triple. That's why you thought you were abducted. Yeah. Rakowski goes on to say, it's the type of thing where it's good to have fun with. What kind of fun? What the fuck is he into? But remember at the back of it, oh, there you go. Fun with it. At the back of it, he's sending us a message. There's some seriousness in the sense that people really do experience these things, and the rife, well, it says rife, I don't know. I think they meant to write ripe, and it's ripe for being studied by science, and that it is. A lot of people go through that regression therapy, and they go through those experiences. Some people recall the stuff, some people don't, but still, it should be analyzed, but it really should be done in an impartial way. A lot of people think it's BS, it's bunk, and they go into it trying to disprove the whole abduction situation, and that's the wrong way to do it. Come on, don't be a rubber dicker. Go in there and do your fucking job, and don't try to convince people otherwise until you really find out what the issue is. That's when you know that you've got a good study, you've really come to a good conclusion, and one that the people you're studying can identify with. Don't just throw them crazy ass bullshit down their way just because that's what your studies tell you. Because this is not in your books. One of the most famous people to be abducted and really heralded as the ones that started this whole thing, probably not on purpose, I hope not, is the story of course, Betty and Barney Hill in September of 1961, driving around New Hampshire's White Mountains. They got the business. They got the business back then. In the early 60s, they were driving home in the middle of the night after a trip to Montreal. We just talked about Canadians loving alien abduction day. When they saw lights flashing in the sky, they claimed that they saw a large spacecraft with two bipedal humanoids creatures inside. They tried to drive away from this thing, but they found themselves in the same spot 2 hours later. They had no memory of what happened within those 2 hours. Missing time, one of the things that a lot of people who get abducted, they report. Could be a wild trip, I don't know. According to the Boston Globe, the Hills later underwent hypnotherapy, which helped them remember the events. In 1965, their story was published in a Boston magazine, and they gained national attention. Barney Hill died in 1969, and Betty lived to up until 2004, and she became a prominent UFO researcher. And her story was told, according to this article, in a 1975 TV movie, The UFO Incident, with James Earl Jones. God, that dude has did he die? Is he dead too? Did they forget to put that in here? I don't remember. What a great deep voice. It is a situation which is a phenomena that it really has no explanation. And then you go and you come up a little into the 70s and you have Travis Walton and his situation and him disappearing up in Sick Grave Mountains of Arizona. The mountains are the shit for aliens, I guess. That's where you go and get probed. But again, here are two stories where you have people, you have evidence in many ways. There was evidence, there was stuff that was found when it came to Betty and Barney Hill. And respect to Travis Walton, there's witnesses, a lot of them. And again, time was missing. Time was gone. And it took time for them to recall what happened. Can this all be made up? Did our society put this in their heads through movies and books? Nobody fucking knows. We don't know yet. But I'm sure that if we find aliens that are out there probing people, eventually we'll know the truth. If we really are being visited, we'll know. We'll figure that shit out in short order, I'm sure. Let's take a quick look at the live chat box because I felt it in the force. Ronnie Dawson is here. Ronnie Dawson. If there's anyone that can talk about aliens invading, it would be Ronnie Dawson, by the way. You can find his story online. Hell, you can even buy a damn book from Amazon that he wrote himself regarding his situation with aliens, his contact in Texas. Ronnie, thank you for joining us. And again, Pucky, Green Man, BC, the Blue Chicken, and everyone else that joined this particular chat. Thank you guys for joining tonight. That's the end of the episode. And again, Praveen, come on. The American public wants to hear from you. And I also got an invite to join another podcast. Their format is they kind of interview folks. Also, hello to Chuck Bam. They interview folks, and I feel like they want to lose a few of their listeners. So they're kind of asking me if I would go on their podcast. Fuck my life. I'm going to destroy that shit. They will never be the same, I guarantee it. This is the end of the episode. I thank you guys for coming by. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe. Come on. Let's do this like only we can. And for the record, thank you.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price for y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Frozen. H6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ballin' age. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the. On record, off record. I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. Running through it with the young influence. Adolescent presence. I'm succumbing to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete ejected with the loser. And I'm barely moving, but I'm still gon' boost them. I can't work on winnings when I know you're losing. So I work the winners and they throw it deuces. Guess I have to pivot, shooting the bazookas for the facts. I need racks, paper, cash, buck a tax. That's a joke. Tell them laugh. Uncle Sam, fuck out the bag. Brody plot, we'll get a whack. Contract, give me the max. I got lab on my back. You ain't that, then it's raps. Whoa. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, yeah. For the record.